Franzen, ABC News.
ABC News this hour is sponsored by the Woodland Bank.
Today, we're talking with
Andy Klocko.
And I'm Tasha Klocko.
We own and operate Klocko Brewing Company. We, first and foremost, brew beer.
the Clockowls are customers of Woodland Bank.
Woodland, to us, came very highly recommended from multiple people in the community and kind of hit it off with everyone right away and sort of felt like the right thing.
They said choosing to do business in Grand Rapids was an easy choice.
I'm originally from Grand Rapids, born and raised, and when we decided to start our family, every time we talked about opening a brewery, we always would say, oh, well, Grand Rapids doesn't have one yet.
The Clockowls use multiple services at Woodland Bank.
We use business checking, loan services, SASA, and the Saver account. Brian's kind of made it clear that it's a partnership from the beginning. First meetup with him and Wayne, it was just very, very clear that, hey, this is an open and honest thing. We want to help you because if you succeed, we succeed.
Woodland Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
That's the Woodland way.
Classic Radio weather.
Here's your KOZY weatherology forecast. Mainly cloudy today with daytime highs approaching 30. Westerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of snow showers tonight, lows around 16, cloudy. Overcast tomorrow, chance for snow showers, highs level off around 35. Cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun Monday with a high of 37. 42 Tuesday. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Currently, it's 16.
It's time for the Sports Issue on 1320 KOZY and KOZYRadio.com.
Behind the net in the St. Cloud zone, the Raiders bring it all the way out to the point. Cam Lance trying to get it into Trombley. Now Trombley gets down Dolan. Dante Lawson, there's a goal from Dante. And a pass from Ben Trombley.
Ding, ding,
Power play goal.
ding, ding.
Underneath it goes. Shevich turns, puts it home. 10-7 Deer River.
The Sports Issue is brought to you by Donlinger Ford, Anderson Glass, Woodland Bank, and others. Thank you so much to our sponsors here this morning.
You got the Energizer Bunny, Grant Hansen, running the baseline back and forth. And he picks one off. Ahead to DeChambeau, goes in, slams it home. 34-28.
Coming across, Ben Trombley with the puck out to Cameron Lance. Cameron Lance with a shot for the point. Goal! Yes! Yes!
Thank you for calling that, Bobby. I wasn't even looking. Right, stumped down.
Attaboy, bingo!
The Sports Issue starts now on 1320 KOZY. And a very good Saturday morning to you and yours. Welcome to the Sports Issue here on your sports leader, KOZY. Joe Gigliotti along with Sheldon Willis. Good morning.
Good morning.
And how are you on this fine Saturday?
I'm doing well.
Good. Glad to hear it. Sun is shining. Always a fun start when the sun is out. And hey, things are kind of, the dust is kind of settling here after our fall and winter sports seasons come to a close. How do you feel?
Well, kind of lining up my spring projects now. I have a bunch of stuff to catch up on.
All righty. Well, I wish you luck in completing those.
Well, of course, we fill out a time card for sports that we do, and I realized that in the last 2 weeks, I'd put on 1,400 miles and done 10 games. I figured that was a pretty good run.
I would say so. Way to go, my man. And just a more official thank you to our sponsors, Super One Foods, Donlinger Ford, Anderson Glass, and Woodland Bank. I forgot to grab my cheat sheet, so I was going off the log here quickly, and there were some non-sponsors in the middle there, and anywho.
Yes.
Big thank you to our sponsors here this morning. Coming up on today's show, Garrett Beckridge in studio, 8:30. Fantastic Nordic skiing season for him, and doing what is it?
Biathlon.
Biathlon. I was going to say triathlon.
No, that's a different thing.
Yes, biathlon.
And just back from Norway, I believe.
So we will hear from Garrett at 8:30, and then 9:30, Grand Rapids Swimming in studio, as they had some state swimmers, so we'll chat with them about that. And we'll also chat Golden Gopher basketball, as they picked up a big win in Big Ten tournament action last night over Purdue, 75-73. Second time they've upset the Boilermakers in 10 days.
It is. They had a 10-point lead in the second half, saw that melt away and kind of gutted it out down the stretch. Very good game. They don't go very deep on the bench right now. All 75 points were scored by their starters.
Yeah, only playing 6-7 guys, and you wonder how much their legs, their energy is going to be coming into play here this weekend, as they played Thursday night, last night, and now got to get 2 more wins to win the Big Ten tournament. They should be locks to be in the NCAA tournament, however. So even if they come up short this weekend, no huge deal. They'll still be in the Nationals, but they would sure like to win the tournament too.
Well, they're kind of playing for seeding right now. And I guess the question is, have they already played themselves out of a play-in game?
I would think so.
I think so. I think last night's win did that.
Yeah, I would think so. So, yeah, way to go Gophers, and they're in semifinal action here today, and we will have that game for you here on KOZY.
What? We're going to carry that instead of spring training baseball? Okay.
Yes, we are.
Good plan, my man.
It'll be the Golden Gophers against Michigan. Gophers, the 7 seed, Michigan, the 3.
Oh, we've already beat the 2. 3 should be no big deal.
We had Michigan on the ropes in their building earlier in the year. Programming note, by the way, or shop talk quick note. I've adjusted the streaming, the activating, and
okay, yep,
I'll get our Saturday programming adjusted here as well.
Okay, with that, there is an hour's worth of in the background programming, so the clock doesn't get all screwed up while you put the games in and stuff.
Okay, perfect. See, folks, the behind-the-scenes magic of weekend programming here at KOZY. So yeah, Twins are scratched today, but we will have them on Monday against Boston.
And just one note as well, and this, I guess a programming note, but Gopher basketball, you can actually hear that on the stream wherever you may happen to roam. We don't have to black that out like we do Twins baseball or Wolves. We can let the stream roll.
So you can hear Gopher basketball today, streaming online or on the mobile app. You can also hear Golden Gopher Big Ten Tournament Hockey tonight, as they'll take on Notre Dame, 5:30 pregame, 6 o'clock face-off, as the Gophers got to win the Big Ten Tournament to get into the NCAAs.
And this is, and I have no idea why you do this in college hockey. I kind of get it in high school, but why would you play a 1-and-out in tournament play? I don't know. For hockey, that just seems wrong to me.
I kind of
I like 2 out of 3.
You do?
Yeah, I like 2 out of 3.
Okay. Well, they're going to play one and done here tonight.
They are.
Also, UMD picking up a win last night in their opener, best of 3 against Omaha. 2-1.
See, that's the way it should be done. Best out of 3.
Yeah. Well, hey, the first round of the Big Ten tourney was best of 3.
Yeah.
And now
the less important games you go best out of 3, and the more important games it's one and done. Okay.
When you put it that way, yeah. Well, let's see. Also going on, state basketball tournament for the girls. Things that caught your eye so far?
Well, again, MIB coming up against a very good Goodhue team. I watched most of that game in the quarterfinals, and they lose by 2. They had a 3 to win it, but it was an off-balance look, inbounding with about 1.2 seconds left to try to win that. So Goodhue goes on. It's 1-2 in Class A, Goodhue and Minneota. MIB is in the consolation finals. Hibbing getting a win in the consolation round, and then losing yesterday in the consolation finals. So they basically did what Grand Rapids did 2 years ago, but able to play 3 games, so a nice showing for Hibbing. What else? Oh, De La Salle getting upset in... no, not De La Salle. Robbinsdale Cooper getting upset in 3A, the 2 seed. De La Salle Becker going in 3A. I mentioned Goodhue Minneota. for the championship, and Caledonia Minnehaha Academy in AA, and Caledonia takes down number 1 seed Roseau, and what everyone assumes will be the coronation of Hopkins against Stillwater. Hopkins, let's take a look here at their state tournament games. They have won 68-46 and 75-51 at state.
Is that good?
Well, it seems to be fairly. Wayzata really pushed them. Everyone says Wayzata was very likely the second best team in the state, and Wayzata only lost by 17 in the section finals. Hopkins coming in at 31-0. If you want to say a prohibitive favorite, there is one.
And I believe Hopkins is the Royals, aren't they?
They are.
So your terminology, the coronation of Hopkins, was actually spot on.
There you go. There you go. Taking it to the next level. I'm trying to see what their closest game was. Oh, Wayzata had them. They lost by 3 mid-season.
Oh, well.
That was the only game that was not double figures. Yes.
That's it, huh?
That's it. There was a 10-point game, and then some other nail-biters like 100-39 over Moorhead.
Oh, jeez.
99-64 over Robbinsdale Cooper, who they were in the semifinals of 3A.
I think you may be right. This may be Hopkins' tournament to win.
Woo! That's... And they struggled to find 93-49 over De La Salle. De La Salle in the state finals in 3A.
And just backing up a moment, you mentioned MIB into the consolation finals. What a squeaker of a win in the
yes, it was.
In the consolation semifinals, 69-68 over Bold. So close one there. And it was interesting watching some of the tournament earlier in the week. I caught it when you had it on. Playing at Maturi Pavilion, it looked like they were out of bounds.
That is an odd place to play basketball. The first time I was watching introductions, and it's like, and they're not off the court. That's the volleyball court. The volleyball court has the big lines and the shaded area, so you can really see where the edge is. And then it just had striped white lines outlining the basketball court at the edge, and it was a very odd look on TV.
It looked similar to the barn on TV, but you could tell it was different. And it was Maturi. And it just looked like they're constantly playing out of bounds. It was weird.
And I don't know, I'm not sure why Target Center was not used this year. Other years, Mariucci has been used. I know I've called basketball at Mariucci 2-3 years ago with Grand Rapids. The last year, I believe, all the quarters and winners bracket side, everything was at Williams and Target. So, I'm not sure. Not sure why we ended up at Maturi. It's probably a nicer sized venue for girls basketball, but the basketball court is strange.
I think I may have our answer here.
Okay.
I'm on the Target Center website and scheduled for the 14th and 15th, so Thursday, Friday of this past week, Disney on Ice.
Oh, I figured there was something with ice.
To be more specific, Disney on Ice Mickey's Search Party.
Okay, well, tell them not to schedule that over the girls' basketball tournament next year, for Pete's sake.
Hey, Mickey's Search Party takes precedent over basketball.
I see that.
Yeah.
I see that. They probably sold more tickets, but anyways.
Hey, now. Boys basketball state tournament, they will have games at Target Center.
Yes, I did see
week.
that.
Yeah.
I did see that. And I see Northwoods wins in a squeaker. Deer River gave them their only challenge in the section tournament in the semis. They rolled over LCA 78-39.
And this is on the boys' side.
On the boys' side,
yes. Sir. Third straight trip to state for Northwoods, and I know you saw them against Deer River the other night. What makes Northwoods so good?
They're balanced and they're deep. They can go 8-9 deep, and most single A teams struggle to do that. So they can wear you out a little bit. And Cade Goggle-Eye really makes them run. I mean, he's the ball handler and just even as a sophomore, and he had such a great sophomore state tournament when they came in as runner-ups there to Minneapolis North. He scores 31 last night, fighting illness before the game, so he wasn't at full strength. He's just such a smart basketball player. He's fun to watch, sees the court so well, drives, dishes, finds the open guy, and can score when needed. And yeah, I love watching Cade play. And then they've got some youngsters. They've got one of the Chibotis, TJ Chiboti, I believe, is just a freshman, can hit the three, and Trevor Morrison, who I think is a sophomore or junior, 6'4" post that just has nice touch around on the inside. So they're deep. They bring in a number of kids off the bench that can handle varsity play, which isn't the case always with single A basketball. And they'll be fun to watch. Good luck to them down at State.
And for those maybe casually listening to Northwoods Deer River the other night, may have been hearing Morrison a fair amount. There was a Morrison on both teams.
T. Morrison's on both teams. Ty and Trevor got me a little messed up.
Yeah,
but kidding. Ty Morrison is a freshman for Deer River, and he's going to be a nice player for them next year. Nice size, nice shot, and he's probably, just from watching that one semifinal game, he's going to end up in that wing spot that Kyle Shevich has occupied for the last couple years for Deer River.
Warriors did a nice job containing Northwoods for the most part the other night, but the Grizzlies do defeat Deer River and then again take down Lakeview Christian last night. Northwoods off to State. Also, Cromwell Wright, the boys off to State, 65-52 over Belgrade Broughton Elarosa, and 37 points for Micah Pokernich in that game for Cromwell. The Cromwell Wright boys going to State for the first time since 1996.
Ooh, it's been a little while.
And they had a very good girls team this year as well, but MIB knocked them off in the section finals. So,
Bemidji goes to State as well. They get a 67-55 win over Sartell St. Stephen. And Cass Lake Bena does not go to State. They get, I don't know if it's an upset. It was the West number 1, East number 1. But they lose to Ada Borup West 66-56.
Also, with that Deer River Northwoods game the other night, that pretty much, well, not pretty much, it did wrap up our winter sports season for our broadcast schedule. And now we look ahead to spring, and we will have baseball coverage, softball coverage, and even some lacrosse coverage.
Yeah, hope I have one lacrosse match on the schedule, and again, it's going to be weather dependent because I don't think I have any place I can make that game up on the schedule. So if it ends up getting canceled due to field conditions or whatever, I think it's a game against Hermantown here. So you heard it here first.
And we will make sure we get all the rules sewn up in our minds and on the calls for you. Get everything straightened away.
I don't know, Garrett, do you know the rules of lacrosse?
I don't know.
Okay, Garrett's not going to be my color guy then.
But as David Moody put it so eloquently, just throw the ball in the net, man.
Yeah, there you go.
See, we got it. We'll take a timeout on the sports issue, M&N News coming up, and we'll talk Nordic skiing with Garrett Beckridge. The sports issue continues next, KOZY.
Brush off the snow and fire up your grill. Hi, this is Nate, store manager at Super One South. On sale this week, Black Angus semi-boneless New York strip steaks, $5.95 a pound. It's Rib Fest, Smithfield fresh and natural boneless pork, country style ribs, $1.66 a pound, and Smithfield all natural baby back pork ribs, $2.99 a pound. No meal is complete without fresh asparagus, $1.99 a pound. And congratulations to the Greenway Raiders on a great season, section title, and a trip to the state tournament. Super One Foods, proud to be a part of your community.
So some people are asking, what's this warranty for life business? Hey, Max here from Dowlinger Ford, and here's the deal. We are giving you a lifetime powertrain warranty on all new and qualified used vehicles. This means engines, transmissions, transfer cases, all the expensive stuff is covered. Plus, you get roadside assistance for 10 years. We're talking towing, service loaners, jump starts, lockout, gas, battery, water, flat tires, you name it. That's how Dowlingers lowers the cost on your next new ride. You always get more for your money at Dowlinger Ford under the big American flag in Rapids.
If your windows stick, slip, squeak, or leak, Replace them with Andersen windows. With low E-glass, low maintenance exteriors, and rich wood interiors, standard and custom sizes, they can turn simple window replacement into serious home improvement.
Stop and see Derek, your Andersen window specialist at Andersen Glass, Grand Rapids.
Hi, this is Investigator Mark Greiner asking you to help send our 5th grade DARE graduates to see the Minnesota Twins this spring. To achieve this goal, we invite you to join us Sunday, March 31st at the Grand Rapids Eagles Club, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. for our annual spaghetti fundraiser. Takeouts will be available. Tickets are only $7, which can be purchased from any 5th grader or at the door. Live music and a silent auction will be part of the fun. It's the annual DARE fundraiser, Sunday, March 31st at the Eagles.
Today we're speaking with
I'm Sue Harris, and I am owner of Eagle Nest Lodge along with my husband.
Brian Harris.
The Harris are customers of Woodland Bank.
We came to Eagle Nest Lodge in 1995. We've got 14 cabins from 1 to 5 bedrooms in size, and we're on the north shore of Cutfoot Sioux Lake, which is a bay on the northeast corner of Big Winnie.
Brian said Woodland Bank was happy to work with them.
The immediate impression that they wanted to be on our team and work with us and help us to move forward after the recession beat us up a little bit.
The Harris said they would recommend Woodland Bank.
They're the friendliest bank around, willing to take us on when times were kind of tough.
I think everyone we've worked with has been fabulous.
Feel like they want us to succeed.
Woodland Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
That's the Woodland way.
Ready to do the things you love without the hassle of contacts and glasses? It's time to treat yourself to LASIK. Bonner Eye Clinic, the premier provider of eye care services in Itasca County and surrounding areas, will help you discover the freedom of life without glasses or contacts. Bonner Eye Clinic provides blade-free technology, experienced doctors, and remarkable results. Ask about their free lifetime vision policy. For more information about LASIK procedures or to schedule a consultation, visit BonnerEyeClinic.com.
Minnesota News Network, I'm Brent Palm. Authorities in northwestern Minnesota investigating death along Highway 39 near Borup. The Norman County Sheriff's Office says a man's body was found inside the cab of a semi-truck. The road was closed for several hours Friday during the investigation. Well, if you're planning to celebrate St. Patrick's Day this holiday weekend, be sure to plan ahead for a sober driver. Mike Hansen with the Department of Public Safety says,
there really is no excuse for anybody to be arrested for an impaired driving offense in this day and age. And along with that, there's no reason for an impaired driving crash to occur.
St. Patrick's Day falls only second to Labor Day when it comes to the number of DW arrests per hour. And U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar in eastern Iowa this weekend testing the presidential waters. Minnesota Democrats campaigned in the first in the nation caucus state 3 times since announcing her bid for the White House. This is MNN.
I wasn't prepared to be a caregiver to Mom. I had no idea how hard it would be and what I would need to know. Things I never thought of, like how to improve her mood and ways for me to stay positive. Luckily, I found the Caregiving Resource Center from AARP. It had articles about the basics, but also information about the hurdles I was facing. Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving. Articles, tips, and tools to help you both care for your loved one and care for yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Are you thinking about buying medicine online? A search for online pharmacies yields more than 20 million results. But which ones can you trust? Medicines bought from unlicensed online pharmacies can be dangerous. You may get a fake drug, your condition may get worse, or you may experience a bad reaction. Don't put your health at risk. To learn how to find an online pharmacy that's safe and legal, visit fda.gov/BeSafeRx. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Classic Radio weather.
Here's your KOZY weatherology forecast. Mainly cloudy today with daytime highs approaching 30. Westerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of snow showers tonight, lows around 16, cloudy. Overcast tomorrow, chance for snow showers, highs level off around 35. Cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun Monday with a high of 37. 42 Tuesday. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Currently, it's 16.
And welcome back to the Sports Issue here on KOZY, streaming live audio and video at KOZYradio.com. Joe Gigliotti, Sheldon Willis, a little after 8:30, and the snow may be starting to melt a bit out there, but never too late to talk some Nordic skiing. We have Garrett Beckridge with Grand Rapids in studio with us.
And Garrett, like every every athlete, you follow the sport that you're involved in, and you were deep into watching an online stream of the Worlds, right, for biathlon?
Yep.
And give us a quick update, because that's not something you find on ESPN1.
No, I was watching it on a Facebook live stream, actually. And the U.S. was in second for a while, which is very rare. Usually we're in the, 15th or 16th place, but we were able to be in second for a while, and now we finished in 9th. But that was a really good result for us.
And you've been competing in biathlon. In fact, it kind of split up your high school Nordic ski season, right? Because you were overseas for a while the Nordic ski season was going on. Talk a little bit about the first experience skiing junior biathlon in Slovakia.
Yep. The first time was Worlds. I'm really lucky that I get to go there. I got my best result was 20th place in the individual event. I missed 4 targets and was about 3 minutes back. So that was a really good result. And I got to ski up in the junior relay. I'm actually still a youth. There's 2 categories. There's youth, which is under 19 years old, and then there's junior, which is under 21 years old. And they put me in the junior relay, and that was a pretty good performance from us in the junior relay too.
Now, the U.S. internationally has not been a biathlon powerhouse at all. So as you move up or ski juniors and watch the team, what are some of the things that are being worked on and what's being done to try to make the U.S. team competitive on the international scene?
Well, the big powerhouses are France, Norway, Germany, and we're probably one of the top 10 nations, but we're not quite up with France and Germany. I think a big thing that we need to work on is skiing speed, probably. But we have had very good results. 2 years ago, Lowell Bailey won the first World Championship gold medal in the individual, but he hit all 20 targets.
Okay.
And ski speed is definitely something that we're trying to develop between juniors and seniors. And also, shooting matters a lot, too. So you need to hit all of your targets if you want to have a good result.
Well, and for those that don't know what biathlon is, this is skiing and then all of a sudden stopping with your heart rate at about 125 and shooting at targets with a 22 rifle.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, and how far away are those targets and how big are they?
Well, depending on the event, there's the sprint, which is you come in and you shoot one time, you shoot 5 targets prone, and then you go ski again, and then you come in and you shoot 5 targets standing. The prone targets are about the size of a toilet paper roll at 50 yards.
Okay.
Well, 50 meters, but 50 yards
close.
for U.S.
Yeah.
And then the standing targets are the size of a CD at the same distance. So with your heart rate up, it's really tough to do it.
And go pace off 50 yards or look at half of a football field.
Yep.
And most hunters will say, yeah, I know what 50 yards is. But to do it after strenuous exercise has to be a challenge. Are there ways that breathing techniques or things that you use to try to slow everything down and get more steady?
Yeah, you try to slow down coming into the range and maximize your glide on skis. And also the rifles are fit exactly to you. The rifles are very customized. You can adjust the stock length, you can adjust the cheek rest height, and all these different things. And I probably shot 5,000 rounds this year, so it's a lot of practice.
And do you go back to the skiing after the shooting?
Yep. In a sprint, you do 3 laps, and in between each of the laps, you shoot. So it's
and how long is a lap?
A lap in a sprint race is 3.3K, so the whole race is 10K.
Okay.
And then is it challenging to get the pace back up, going from shooting to skiing?
Yes. You have to, and depending on how many you miss, you may have to do a penalty loop. And then if you have to do, say, 2 penalty loops, that takes a lot out of your legs for the next lap. And yeah, it's a lot of practice and doing as many races as you can and just getting experience on your belt.
Well, this seems like a sport that's made for northern Minnesota. We have a lot of people that like to shoot, and we get plenty of snow.
Yeah, that's what they told me. I'm a hunter and a outdoorsman, and the biathlon coach said, well, you should try biathlon, because I was already in skiing. And I'm like, yeah, I think I'll give it a shot, and it's worked pretty well.
So how long were you gone? How many meets did you miss for your high school senior season with the Nordic skiing?
I think I only missed 2, because skiing was over for the second time that I left. So when I was gone for 2 weeks, there was 2 big races, one in Ely and one in Duluth, and I wasn't there for those. But luckily, I had enough seasons or enough races out early in the season that I was still able to be eligible for sections and state.
And you defended your section title.
Yep.
And competed at state. I had the privilege of being there at a very cold day at state. You never know what you're going to get that time of the year. You can get 40 above, or you can get what we had for the boys' race, especially was 10 below wind chills.
Mm-hmm. The section race was really bad. I think it was -1 Fahrenheit. And snowing. It was like the middle of a blizzard for the skate race. And the times on that skate course are usually about 14, 15 minutes, and they were like 19, 20 minutes.
Wow.
So, and then, yeah, state was a little bit warmer. It was like 10 degrees, but it was still really cold compared to like racing in Europe or something.
What are the normal temperatures when you're racing over in Europe?
It's really nice. It's like 25 to 30 degrees. And, yeah, just right below freezing point, and the venues are really nice and everything. It's amazing.
Chatting with Garrett Beckridge here on the Sports Issue. How many countries have you been to now?
Oh, I'm really lucky. I get to go to so many. I've been to Norway and Slovakia and Czech Republic and Slovenia and Austria so far.
Nice. What's the maybe the neatest thing that you've experienced in any of those countries?
Man, I really like the venue in the Czech Republic in Novo Mesto. It's a really cool course, and one of my friends and teammates is actually staying in the Czech Republic, and he trains there. Sometimes he has dual citizenship in the Czech.
So you have some connection there, and does that give you a little more, insight on where to go and things to see when you're there, or are you pretty much racing only when you're on one of these trips?
Oh, it's a lot of racing. Everything is based around the races, but you still get to look around and explore things. I actually got to go stay with him before the World Championships for a week. We trained there, we prepared for the races, and yeah, it's such a cool experience.
So if we come back to the State High School League, the Nordic skiing, I know you were the defending state champion as a junior, and you ended up with a very tough week that week of state. How come you scheduled being sick that week?
Yeah, I don't like making excuses, because I think that each race you just have to look at and see what happened and just accept that. But I have so many for that race. I had bronchitis, I had bronchial problems, I should say. I couldn't train for the 3 days leading up to it, which isn't a huge deal, but it kind of screws up your mental preparation. And then on the race day, I actually felt pretty good that day, but it was more of because I had been sick the days before. And then the skate race that I had, I forgot my race skis in the back of the car that I drive, and we took my dad's truck. So I had a pair of other skis, and then a guy from the cities gave me his pair of skis, and I skied on those. And they were fast. They probably weren't as fast as my race skis would have been, but my performance in the skate race was probably the best I've ever raced on that course. And I've raced on that course a dozen times since 8th grade.
Right.
And to be able to get an 18-second lead going into the skate race I was so surprised.
So you had a great opening skate race, and you weren't even racing on your skis on that race, is that?
Yeah, I had a
pair of borrowed skis.
Yep, Piot from the cities
Yeah.
let me borrow a pair of his skis. Yeah.
And then when it came time to the classic race, the pursuit race, was it just a matter of not quite having enough in the tank at the end? I mean, I know you were you go in first place starting that race, but not by a lot.
Yeah, at the end of that race when I lost and I was crossing the finish line, all I could do was smile at how bad that 15 minutes went. Like, I started out and it was really windy and there was snow blowing around. And the way that the classic tracks are is they're groomed.
Right.
And if you can groom them, and then the idea is that they kind of ice up and they get faster than the snow around them. What happened is fresh snow was blowing into the tracks, and fresh snow is a lot slower than icy tracks. So I had to get in those, and I was pushing, and that was going so slow. And the guy that ended up winning, who was in second at that point, Peter Moore, he got right in behind me, and was able to ski in the tracks that I had just skied through. So that was faster. That's not a huge difference, but that was a few seconds of.
So looking back, you say, I would have been better off holding back a little bit and drafting off of someone else's tracks for a while.
Well, that's kind of what I did. I went easy, and then at 1K he caught me, and then I just got behind him and I stayed with him the rest of the race. And then my skis on the downhill were a little bit slower than his, and he pulled away.
So it was just. And I know still a fourth place at state is nothing to shake a stick at. Yeah, I mean, it's still a very good result. But when you're coming off as defending champion, you're hoping for more, right?
Yeah, and I would say last year I don't think I was the best skier in the state. I think that I got really lucky. I think that, I'm not going to say any names, but there was a few guys that I was very surprised that I was able to hold off, and then I would say maybe a little bit differently this year, and that, it didn't work out. But that's racing, and each race is different.
So if you look and say, I was a little fortunate the one year, and the next year it evened out.
Yeah, that's how it goes though, and I'm completely fine with that, and I accept it.
And shortly after that, you went to Norway for another set of biathlon races, right?
Yep. So the ones in Slovakia that I went to in late January, early February, those were the World Championships, and then I got to make the junior team and go to the Open European Championships, which were in Sushin, Norway. That's right next to Lillehammer, where the Olympics were in 1994. And it's the European Championships, which doesn't make sense why we'd be going, but it's like open. So it's pretty much just like Worlds again.
Oh, it's like Tiger Woods playing in the British Open golf tournament. Yeah. Okay, I can live with that. I got that.
And with all this world traveling and whatnot, how do you manage the schoolwork?
That's very tough. I'm behind in a few classes right now, but I'm working to get it back up there.
Yeah, you got to graduate soon, right?
Uh-huh.
And what are your goals with biathlon? You're skiing the junior circuit right now.
Yep.
We asked if you had Olympic aspirations, and it's like, that's a ways in the future yet.
Yeah, I'd say that, I'd look towards it, but in the same way, like, it's so far from now, and there's so many different things that can happen where you can't expect any of that.
And what are some of the goals that you have set over the next year or two to improve, or where do you see yourself?
I'm not really even sure what I'm doing next year at this point. Okay. US Biathlon doesn't release a lot of its information on like camps where everyone's training until early April after nationals, which are on March 28th through the 31st, I think. So it's right after that they release all their information, so I really don't know anything at this point.
So do they assign you to where you're going after that, or do you have some choice in that, or how does it work out?
No, I can choose, but it's what they offer and what materials they provide, what different camps they allow you to come to or they pay for. It's a whole different process of stuff that you need to wait until all that's out to make big decisions.
So how you do here at the end of the month is going to determine a lot?
No,
you're done.
My season's I actually have a race at Mount Itasca right after this today.
Okay.
But my big races are done for this year. I decided not to go to nationals. It was just too much.
You have enough miles. So how do you? Is there an actual biathlon course over at Mount Itasca? Can you skate and shoot there? Or?
Yep, that's where I train.
Okay.
Yep. It hosts a lot of national competitions there. a lot of people don't know about that just because it's Coleraine and people just don't expect that kind of stuff to go on there, but it happens.
I did. Yeah. See, I would not have known that actual national events are going on there for biathlon. Are there other Nordic ski events that go on, or mostly just biathlon?
Well, the high school races, but
Yeah.
every once in a while there's a junior national qualifier there, and sometimes they have Nordic combined races there to go with the jump.
So the jump's still being used as well.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
There was a big competition there this year, and then in summertime it's open in the summer for jumping. What they run on like plastic, and then they land on like grass turf.
Okay.
So yeah, it works the same as in the wintertime.
Have you tried the jump?
No, I tried jumping like 3 years ago. I went off the 20-meter, and I fell right on my face, and I broke a ski, and I got kicked out because I wasn't registered, and that was pretty much the end for me.
So it did not go well.
No.
You're saying your jumping career was very, very mercifully short.
Yeah.
And you mentioned before we came on maybe some online classes in the future?
Yeah, I don't know a lot of information on that, but I do know that I'm taking a gap year to focus on biathlon.
And seeing what do you have goals as far as where you want to be ranked in the junior rankings for the U.S. and world?
Right now I'm ranked first.
Okay.
I'm the first junior for the U.S.
Okay.
My friend who's been staying in the Czech, he probably would have been the top junior this year, but he had a lot of sickness going on, and he ended up he trained at elevation too much, and what happened is his hemoglobin went up, and what that does is that reduces your blood iron content, and he had your blood iron content should be like 23 millimoles, and his was at like 5. So, and iron is how your oxygen is transported through your blood, so you can imagine in this sport that matters a lot. But he's got that back up to normal now, and he's feeling better.
So, and you start throwing out terms about blood iron and so on. It is diet and some of those things something that you watch very carefully for yourself?
Not very carefully. I mean I don't eat junk food or anything, but
that sounds pretty careful to me. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
There's some leftover donuts over there if you want one. On
Oh
your way
yeah,
out.
maybe I don't know.
Perfect pre-race meal. Donut. Yeah.
So, do you have a specific pre-race meal?
Usually just like a banana. Well, I just eat breakfast, usually like oatmeal, and then before a race I'll have like a banana or a V8 energy for caffeine. So.
Okay. Little bit of caffeine, the original energy drink, right?
Yeah.
Chatting with Garrett Beckridge here on the Sports Issue. And how's is it kind of tougher to bond with your Rapids teammates during the year when you're overseas and whatnot?
Yeah, a lot of them complain that I'm gone, gone too much. I can't even explain how lucky I am to be able to go to all this. But they, and then when I'm gone, the team doesn't do so hot in races. But we're looking to get new skiers next year.
Well, and you were a senior this year anyways. They're going to have to learn to do without you next year.
Yeah.
You didn't bomb this year just so you'd come back and have another year of high school eligibility.
No.
That's not how it works.
No, and I'm not bombing, but...
No. And I guess if you just look back on your high school career, if we look back on Nordic, and you also were at state, 2 years in cross country as well?
Yeah, yep.
What are some of the memories you'll take away from high school and high school sports?
Oh, there's so many. I was just thinking about this the other day. I was washing my skin suit because I have to turn it in on Monday, and I was just thinking about all of the races. I did one race, I forgot to take off my warm-up pants, and I actually did it twice, and I did an entire race in these thick warm-up pants. I just all these different...
Did you win?
No. This was freshman year, I think. And yeah, I think I went from like 6th in the skate race. It was a pursuit race, and then the classic race I dropped back to like 20th.
So, do you have a reputation as being a little absent-minded? You say you forgot your skis for the state race, your skate skis. So, do you have that reputation a little bit?
Yeah, I I have a reputation of being really on for races and then sometimes forgetting some big things that are important. But
So you forgot the warm-up pants on. What are some of the other things that you get teased about forgetting over the last few years?
well, I forgot my my warm-up jacket in the wax room at Worlds, and I flew back to the U.S. and I realized I didn't have it. That was one thing. that I did.
Were you able to get it back?
Yeah, I got it back when I went to Norway then.
Well, we'll make sure you don't forget your coat and hat over here before you go.
Yeah, it's still cold enough outside. You don't want to go out in just the T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
You said you were taking a little bit of time off. You weren't going to Worlds, and you don't really know what's going to come up. But you're hoping to go to some camp. What's kind of the off-season training that you normally would do?
Well, there's a lot of different camps we train on roller skis. I don't know if you've seen.
Yep,
that.
I've seen you on them actually.
Yeah,
I think
on the you can go on tar roads with those, or sometimes I train actually the majority on the Mesabi Trail.
Yep, that's where I've seen you.
And but then they have camps out in Utah at Salt Lake City where the Olympics were in 2002, and then sometimes out in Lake Placid. And usually the camps they're like back to back in two different places that are very close to each other. So when everyone flies out there, drives out there, they're not just there for a few days. It's usually a big thing.
And I'm sure biathlon isn't something that you're going to get a $10 million a year contract for next year.
No.
Is there a lot of, I guess, how do you end up financing this? And is there money from the U.S. Biathlon organization to help with it?
Yeah, so a lot of the camps are paid for, and usually the only thing you have to figure out is a way to get out there. And the U.S. the Olympic Committee is getting better with biathlon, and they're providing more for it. And a lot of that is based on results and how the senior team does at events like the World Championships, just like how they were in second today. That was a good thing.
So you get a little bit more of that Olympic slice to help train as the team gets better.
Yep.
Well, good luck. And they call it cross-country skiing, so you just ski out to Utah.
Yeah.
It's too big a country, right?
Yeah, it'd be better if you were from like Liechtenstein or something.
There you go. That's my best Stephen Wright joke, by the way. Cross-country skiing is a good sport if it's a small country.
Yeah.
Well said. Thank you, Garrett, for stopping in here this morning. And that might be the first time on this show that Liechtenstein gets referenced here on the Sports Issue. We'll take a quick time out here on the show. We have your car care tip of the day on the way. Also, ABC News at 9 and Grand Rapids Swimming in studio at 9:30. We'll also chat Gophers, Wild Wolves, and more. KUZY.
So some people are asking, what's this warranty for life business? Hey, Max here from Down Ford, and here's the deal. We are giving you a lifetime powertrain warranty on all new and qualified used vehicles. This means engines, transmissions, transfer cases, all the expensive stuff is covered. Plus, you get roadside assistance for 10 years. We're talking towing, service loaners, jump starts, lockout, gas, battery, water, flat tires, you name it. That's how Donlier's lowers the cost on your next new ride. You always get more for your money at Donlier Ford under the big American flag in Rapids.
Save this week at Super One Liquor. Get Coors Light or Miller Lite, 24-pack cans, only $17.97. Ham's beer in a 30-pack, just $12.97. Captain Morgan spiced rum, 1.75 liters, only $19.97. And Andre Champagne, 750 milliliters, just $4.94. You'll find these savings and more at Super One Liquor, Grand Rapids, Hibbing, and Virginia.
You can rely on Latvala Lumber as a trusted partner to help fulfill your vision with windows and doors that are perfect for you.
For a look that reflects your style, choose Marvin Windows and Doors. They'll enhance the essence of a room and the character of a home. Beautifully crafted with a wide array of options, it's easy to complement your vision and create a new favorite space within your home. Marvin Windows and Doors are sold only at independent dealers who understand your home is more than your address. It's a feeling you create in a place that holds your dreams. Marvin Windows and Doors.
Discover the windows and doors of your dreams at Latvala Lumber, your local Marvin dealer. Serving the Grand Rapids area, you can trust Latvilla Lumber for your next project. At Latvilla, the savings are always great. Visit us at latvalalumber.discovermarvin.com.
It's time for the Car Care Tip of the Day, sponsored by Hibbing Chrysler Center.
It's the spring sales event at Hibbing Chrysler for the month of March. It's the hottest selling month of the year with the biggest rebates and the lowest payments at Hibbing Chrysler Center. Take advantage of the new 2019 Ram 1500 Express Quad Classic. Lease for $190 per month. Or the new 2019 Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk 4x4. Lease for $280 per month. And Hibbing Chrysler's Triple Play, the 2019 Jeep Compass Latitude 4x4. Lease for $299 per month. Hibbing Chrysler is taking it to the certified pre-owned level. They have a 2018 Ram 1500 SCT 4x4 for $25,999. That comes with peace of mind with the best certified warranty on the market. Hurry into Hibbing Chrysler Center for the spring sales event. It is so huge you won't want to miss it. Hibbing Chrysler Center, right on the belt line, right on the corner, and right on the price.
Everybody gets a great deal. Everybody gets a great deal.
With today's Car Care Tip, I'm Tim Edwards. Headlights are an active safety item and the first line of defense on a vehicle. If you can't see objects in the road, you can't react. To prevent this, drivers must be proactive about headlight maintenance. Proper maintenance maximizes the amount you can see down the road and side road, which can mean additional reaction time, helping you avoid hazards that cause accidents. When it comes to headlights, you need to know there are a variety of choices available on the market to suit your individual needs. There are options available that offer brighter down-road visibility or wider light, which improves contrast and helps you distinguish objects on the side of the road better than basic headlights. Changing your headlight bulb can be a simple process that may not require a mechanic or service professional. In fact, various online guides and resources exist to help you swap out your headlight bulbs in a matter of minutes. Consult your owner's manual for bulb and headlight replacement procedures, needed tools, and safety precautions. That's today's Car Care Tip. I'm Tim Edwards.
The Car Care Tip of the Day, sponsored by the Hibbing Chrysler Center. Listen for the Car Care Tip of the Day, 8:50 a.m. on 1320 KOZY.
Welcome back to the Sports Issue here on 1320 KOZY and KOZYRadio.com. Joe Gigliotti with Sheldon Willis. Thanks again to Garrett Beckridge for dropping by. Sheldon, before we head to the top of the hour here, I just wanted to kind of put a bow on the season for the Greenway Raiders. Since we signed off, they fell in the state championship game to St. Cloud Cathedral 5-2, including an empty netter. But boy, what a whale of a season, section run, and state run.
It was, and, this is a team, and I hear the narrative, they basically skated two lines in the state tournament. I think the third line probably got 3 shifts in 3 games or somewhere close to that. But, to say they ran out of gas, I think it's a bit of a misnomer. They outshot St. Cloud Cathedral, I think 9-4 or something like that in the third period. Had numerous chances. I know Birdsall was in on a breakaway. Lawson had a great chance. Tremblay had a couple chances. It was just in that a very good game by the St. Cloud Cathedral goaltender, and some of the chances that had been going in from the Hermantown game on through the semifinals just didn't go in for them in the third period.
And I thought heading into that game, okay, Greenway's playing 3 games in 4 days. As you mentioned, basically rolling 2 lines, a lot of heroics and comeback efforts by Greenway to get to that state championship game. And I thought, boy, if they could just grab a lead in the first period, I think that'd be huge for them. And they did.
They did. And they were, what an odd series of events, because it looked like they had a 2-goal lead, although to everyone's eyes, it looked like St. Cloud Cathedral had scored. That was waved off, play continued, Greenway scores, and then you go back to the replay, which of course you couldn't do except at the state tournament. If that's a section playoff game, it's a 2-0 Greenway lead 4 minutes in.
And you wonder how that would have changed the tides of that game.
Exactly.
Maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't have. but Greenway, second place finish at state. A tremendous year, and congrats to Coach Clafton, Coach Surdich, Coach Johnson, and the players for their season.
And it's fun having a ref doing color with Bobby, and when Greenway scored that second goal that ended up being disallowed, and Bobby immediately said, "Let me tell you what's going to happen now," and he was exactly right.
And just for kicks, I know we heard it in the open, but Bobby Zolke even some
he did a great job of play-by-play.
An impromptu play-by-play debut here.
Coming across, Ben Traumer with the puck out to Cameron Lance. Cameron Lance with a shot for the point. Goal! Yes! Yes!
Thank you for calling that, Bobby. I wasn't even looking. I'm writing stuff down.
Attaboy, bingo!
Ding, 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 ding,
ding, ding, ding. Bingo. And so that time Bobby gets the call and Tom gets to laugh. So
Exactly.
Good stuff.
So way to go, Greenway. Great season. And
after that goal, I took Tom's notebook away.
I heard that, yeah.
Took it away and threw it away. Well, I didn't throw it away, but I threw it back behind where he couldn't get his hands on it. Watch the game, Tom. You're getting enough stats from other people. You don't have to write down your own today.
When I first started doing games, I did color back in 2008, and I had just this huge binder full of pages and notes and, who had how many hat tricks and just too many. And I ran into the same situation where my play-by-play guy asked me, "Was that tipped in front?" And I said, "I don't know, I wasn't watching." So, yeah, over-preparing, too many notes, just let the game happen.
That's right, let the game come to you.
Of course, bring some notes.
Yes.
Not a bad idea. By the way, Greenway's Dante Lawson now playing with the Minnesota Wilderness in the NAHL, and boy, he had a beauty of a goal last night.
That was a highlight reel goal. He's got to play college somewhere, doesn't he?
I would hope so.
Man, oh man.
Yeah, Lawson on a partial breakaway. Defenseman for Bismarck kind of gets him tied up. Lawson recovers from his knees, able to get the puck back and finds its way past the goaltender.
Taps it in on the backhand as he's sliding into the crease himself on his knees after being pulled down, and then everything goes in the net. But the puck went in first.
We'll take a break here on the sports issue. ABC News coming up here in a moment, a little bit later than usual, and Grand Rapids Swimming at 9:30. 1320 KOZY. What station?
1320 KOZY Grand Rapids, the news source for the Grand Rapids area.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. A nation in mourning.
My heart's broken, and it hurts for our brothers and sisters who have fallen.
One resident showing his support as a makeshift memorial in Christchurch, New Zealand. New Zealand remains on high alert after Friday's deadly shooting at two mosques that left 49 people dead and dozens of others injured. As crews removed the bodies from the mosques, the main suspect, Brenton Tarrant, an Australian citizen and an avowed white supremacist, appeared in court. ABC's Will Carr is in Christchurch with more on the suspect.
They say that he did have a license to purchase guns, but there are now calls for tougher gun laws here in New Zealand. Evidently, he had high-capacity magazines, and he would have needed a specialty license to purchase those magazines. But as the law stands right now, you can walk into a store and actually buy high-capacity magazines without showing any license at all. Authorities believe that is what the suspect here did. So one of the first things people want to see change is that you would have to show whatever license you have every time you go in and buy a gun or any gun-related items. Will Carr, ABC News in Christchurch.
President Trump issuing his first veto after 12 Senate Republicans crossed party lines to vote in favor of a resolution that terminated his emergency declaration. The GOP lawmakers calling that declaration an overreach of executive power. ABC's Tara Palmieri is at the White House.
President Trump justifying his decision after Congress denied his request of $5.7 billion for a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border. But the legal fight is just beginning. Attorney General Bill Barr insisting they are on solid legal ground. The president's still not backing down, now asking for even more money for the border wall in his latest budget request of $8.6 billion.
In France, the so-called yellow vest protesters back in the streets, clashing with riot police. You're listening to ABC News.
Have you ever thought about saying goodbye to your job? Just walking into your boss and saying, I quit. And how would you like to commute to work without ever leaving your home? Well, not long ago, a 39-year-old entrepreneur from a billionaire family spent $20 million in 3 years to find the best home-based business in North America. He researched 70 different companies, and when he found the only one that had real long-term potential, he bought it. And right now, he's looking for people to help him turn this company into his next billion-dollar success story. So if you're serious about making money from home without having to leave your home, well, grab a pen. Because I'm about to give you the address of a website where you can learn all about this unique and rare opportunity. Write this down, www.goherenext.com. Now get on your computer and go to this site now. Part-time or full-time, your income is based totally on your performance. Interested? GoHereNext.com and say goodbye to your boss tomorrow. GoHereNext.com.
Police in Las Vegas are investigating an attempted robbery Friday night that set off a panic at the Bellagio Hotel and Casino and turned into a shootout with officers. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez has more.
Investigators say it all started when an armed man walked in and demanded money from a cashier in the poker section of the casino. They say he then ran and tried to carjack someone who had just pulled in. Officers were right there, and as they approached, investigators say the man opened fire, shooting one of the officers. Another returned fire, hitting the suspect. Both were rushed to a hospital. That officer has already been released. The suspect, however, is in critical condition.
ABC's Marcy Gonzalez. Launch pads are busy in Florida. The U.S. military satellite blasting off successfully on Friday.
The countdown at Cape Canaveral, Florida, sounded like this.
3, 2, 1. And we have liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Delta IV rocket.
The payload, a U.S. military communication satellite. The company says this is the second to last launch of this type of rocket. The Delta IV medium will be retired after a scheduled launch of an Air Force GPS satellite in July. Dave Schreiber, ABC News.
In southern Africa, in Zimbabwe and Malawi, they've been hit by a vicious cyclone that's killed more than 140 people. This is ABC News.
It's time to join the millions of people that meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Zoom gives you flawless video, crystal clear audio, and instant sharing across any mobile, tablet, or desktop device. But the best thing about Zoom? It just works. So ditch the distractions, join the movement, and meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Visit zoom.us to set up your free account today. That's zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Classic Radio weather.
Here's your KOZY weatherology forecast. Mainly cloudy today with daytime highs approaching 30. Westerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of snow showers tonight, lows around 16, cloudy. Overcast tomorrow, chance for snow showers, highs level off around 35. Cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun Monday with a high of 37. 42 Tuesday. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Currently, it's 14.
Second hour of the Sports Issue on KOZY. Joe Gigliotti along with Sheldon Willis on a sunny Saturday morning, St. Patrick's Day weekend. If you're celebrating, be safe, have fun. The Shamrockin' Brunch going on this morning at the Pickled Loon Saloon. I know food, fun, games, beverages. Clock Hall Brewing will be there, Tap Takeover. Also, Mamma Mia going on this weekend at the Rife Center. So all sorts of fun stuff going on.
Yes, there is. By the way, did you read the saga of the University of North Dakota getting to their series against Colorado College?
I did not.
Well, there was a blizzard out in Colorado. So they left a day early. They left on Wednesday. And so they beat the blizzard out of North Dakota. ended up being diverted to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and had to bus 500 miles from Albuquerque to Colorado to get to the start of the series. So they ended up Wednesday night about midnight on the New Mexico-Colorado border, and then getting the rest of the way on Thursday through a blizzard.
Brutal.
That's the way to start. And then they didn't score.
Yeah.
They lost 2-0.
And it was actually to Denver, right?
Yes, Denver. I'm sorry, not Colorado College.
Right.
Colorado College, actually, let's see, they had their problems as well. They got stuck in Colorado when they were trying to fly out of Denver on Wednesday. And I'm not sure, did Colorado College and Western Michigan play last night, or did that series get pushed back?
Looks like it got pushed back.
Okay, because Colorado College couldn't get there. And there's been a lot of travel stuff in the NCHC this year.
Yes.
Omaha got stuck in Grand Forks, no motel rooms. They stayed on their bus inside Ralph Engelstad Arena.
Mm-hmm.
St. Cloud State ended up eating a team dinner at a county jail after getting stuck coming home from Omaha. Denver had to postpone a game at Colorado College.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, because, it's what, like an hour apart?
Yeah.
Getting stuck in traffic for 5 hours during a storm. And Western Michigan was forced to bus to Omaha because they couldn't fly. So.
These kids are probably thinking, hey, I
could have played for Alabama Huntsville, darn it.
Yeah. Or I was going to say, done with high school hockey, now I get the luxurious travels of college hockey. Well, maybe not. Not so fast. Let's see. Speaking of college hockey, results from last night, we had Minnesota Duluth, a 2-1 overtime win over Omaha in opening round action. Nick Swaney with the overtime winner. Real fun game. And Hunter Shepard gets the win in net. And
how many straight starts does he have now?
A lot. He's 22, 11, and 2. So, yeah, he's played a lot of hockey the last couple of years. For UMD, that's a best-of-3 series. Bulldogs will try to close it out here tonight. Other results, we had St. Cloud State 5-2 over Miami. It was Denver shutting out North Dakota 2-0. Western Michigan falls to Bowling Green 6-1. And I think that about wraps it up on that side of things. On the women's side, it was Division 3 hockey going on last night. Division 1 women's hockey going on today. The Gophers host Princeton in the NCAA tournament. Wisconsin will host Syracuse. And again, more men's college hockey today, including the Golden Gopher men as they take on Notre Dame in the Big Ten semifinals. Notre Dame will play host to the Gophers here tonight. And we do have some sound from Gopher goaltender Matt Robson here on North Dakota, Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's just the way their team plays. They wait for us and other teams to make mistakes, and then they want to capitalize, quick strike, power plays, things like that. And, we're just going to have to be disciplined all weekend. And, whichever way it goes, we're going to be able to play right there with them.
And Robson says playing on the road can be a good thing.
It's always good to get the camaraderie going in the hotel, playing cards, things like that. And I'm not complaining about playing at Mariucci. Obviously, we have the best fans in the nation, and I kind of like, sleeping in my own bed sometimes. But, it's going to be good to get back on the road, and I like the maroon jerseys. I think we look good in them. So,
hold on, Matt. Best fans in the nation. Where were all the fans last weekend?
Oh, they were such good fans. They were at the state high school hockey tournament.
Maybe he meant the ones that showed up. They are the best in college hockey.
Both of them.
For those that missed it, attendance was listed on college hockey stats about 1,800, 1,900.
Maybe 300 there.
Yeah, those numbers seem generous. Capacity is about 10,000 for Mariucci. It did not look good on television or in person, I'm sure.
No, it did not.
But let's check in with Robson one more time here on the great defense that's played in front of him recently.
It's nice, obviously, not to have, 2-on-1s and things like that. It's very, it's kind of easy to get into the game when, you're facing shots from the outside, and you're just feeling good. And obviously, it helps our team out as well because we get to play a lot more in the offensive zone. And I guess, the best defense is a good offense, so we'll look to continue doing that.
Gophers in the Fighting Irish Big Ten tournament. Gophers got to win, keep winning, win 2 more games to get into the NCAAs. Pre-game at 5:30, opening face-off at 6 o'clock here tonight. You can hear it on KOZY.
Yes, you can. And by the way, I downloaded some highlights of the Gopher basketball win.
Oh, I've got them ready to go.
Oh, you got them ready to go. I thought you might, but you hadn't gotten to them yet, so just in case.
Yes, Gophers' big win over Purdue last night in the Big Ten tournament quarterfinals, 75-73. First half action, Gabe Kelscher making it 18-17 Gophs.
Finding Murphy, left elbow out to Kelscher, got his man in the air, steps right, 3 in the air for the lead, and he rattled it home. Gabe Kelscher with 5, that stops a 7-0 run. Minnesota reclaims the lead by 1, 18-17, 12:25 to play.
A little later on, Gophers extending their lead to 34-29.
McBrayer back to Hurt in the corner right. Wants to drive, backing down now, waiting, gives out front for Amir Coffey. His 3's in the air, got it again. Back-to-back 3s for Coffey. He's got 8. Minnesota 34, Purdue 25, the lead 5 for the Golden Gophers. 4 even to play here opening half.
Second half action, the Gophers extending their lead to 10. Amir Coffey.
Here is Coffey now. He drives into the paint, goes in with a left-handed shot and a beauty. Acrobatic move, he got it to go. Left-handed off the glass. Gophers by double digits, 55-45. Largest lead of the night, 12:50 to go.
But then Purdue would claw their way back, tie things up, take a lead, and later on we'd go back and forth. Jordan Murphy making it 71-all.
Coffey crossing over behind the back dribble. Now to Murphy. He's going to work into the paint. Goes up through contact. Got it to go. Drew the foul. Count it. Jordan Murphy with 24. The foul was on Harms. He took it from the top of the key, burrowed his way into the left block, through contact from Harms, and got the left-handed shot off the glass to go.
Fired up Mike Grimm on the Gopher Radio Network. Gophers would hit a key basket or two and then a couple free throws, and they would get that 75-73 win a day after an overtime win over Penn State in the opening round. After the game, a very happy head coach, Richard Pitino.
Head coach Richard Pitino. He's sponsored by Washburn-McCreevy Funeral Chapels and Cremation Services. And let's hear from the head coach. He's got a big smile on his face. It's on to semifinal Saturday, and you guys pretty well controlled this game. I mean, you were the better team tonight.
Yeah, we played well. I mean, we made winning plays when we needed to. We made some big key free throws. Murphy was a beast down low, and we got stops. We got some good rebounds, too. I mean, some of our guards, Dupree, 6 rebounds. Gabe got a key rebound at the end, and then we got a key stop right there.
Coach, you guys hold a week and a half ago or whatever it was, Carson Edwards in Williams Arena, 7 of 31 from the floor. Tonight, 4 of 17. What's been the key guarding him the last couple of games?
Commit a couple guys to him, swarm him. You know what he is. I mean, he's offensive-minded. Gabe does a really good job on the ball. Everybody else is doing a great job off the ball.
I thought tonight was the most physical I've seen your defense in, I can't remember, even like with the screens and Amir, like fighting the hand game, trying to get through screens, but more importantly, defending without fouling. Would you agree that this was maybe the most physical that you've seen your team play?
And we're doing a really good job, like you said, of defending without fouling.
Right.
We had fouls to give. I told them to foul. They didn't foul, and it worked. So maybe I'll tell them not to foul next time. It will work. But yes, we're getting better there.
How much were you holding your breath when Edwards' shot goes up right there at the horn?
Part of me died. Probably a year off my life.
Well, certainly it's fun. You think you're in now?
You know, I walk. Lenardi puts us in the bye category. Like, enough of him already. Yeah. Go away.
Yeah,
we're in, fellas.
Head coach Richard Pitino after the win for the Gophers last night over Purdue. Gophers get Michigan in the next round here today. We'll have it for you on KOZY. Pregame at 2, opening tip at 2:30. So, yeah, go Gophers. Exciting times.
It was. They played a whale of a game last night against Purdue. I got to see a lot of it. And, yeah, but let's go dancing into the dance.
Let's do it. And why not win a Big Ten tournament on our way there?
Sure.
And
ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, thank you, Bobby. Pro basketball, Timberwolves, playoff hopes fading away quite quickly. They are, my quick math says, about 7.5, 8 games out of the 8th spot now in the Western Conference.
It ain't happening.
No, only like 13, 14 games to go. Disappointing season. A lot of obstacles, I guess, for the Wolves this year. And that 4-9 start, just, again, you dig yourself that early hole. Hard to get out of.
Yes, exactly right. And there's just been no end to soap opera storylines going on. As I see swimming coming in, so
all right,
good deal. I see Michael Fitch coming in, so we'll have swimming soon. You'll have, I got to get you over there so you're on the video. I see you combed your hair all nice, so we have to get you on the video stream, Michael. So is Ryan Saunders the coach for the future for this team? There's one question. Can you rig the lottery and get Zion Williamson to go alongside of Cat?
Sure, why not?
You like that idea?
I'm sticking with I don't want to say my hope, because I like Ryan Saunders too, but Luke Walton, next head coach for the Wolves.
Ooh, interesting choice.
I don't think he survives in L.A.
No, I don't think so either.
It's a mess of a season for the Lakers, with LeBron being injured for some time, and then the Anthony Davis trade falling through. It's just been a fiasco for the Lakers here this season.
So you want a failed coach to come and...
He was great with Golden State, but who wouldn't be?
Yeah, exactly. You know, and I've had high school coaches tell me this. Good players make you a much better coach.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we'll see what happens there.
Now, this weekend for the Minnesota Wild is do or die time. They're now, 3 points out of a playoff spot?
That's correct.
Back-to-back games tonight and tomorrow night at home, where they have lost 6 in a row at home? Something like that?
XL has not been happy for the Wild, correct.
So you'd better figure it out, I would say, in the next 2 hours. You'd best figure this out and get it rolling, or playoffs are going to be a long, long shot for the Minnesota Wild.
Wild have the Rangers tonight, the Islanders tomorrow. And, the Wild right now at 74 points. Arizona, surprise team, in the second wild card spot at 77 points. So, at least 2 games, Wild, at least 2 games back now, 2 points for a win. So Dallas with the other wild card spot. Colorado hot on the Wild's heels at 72 points. And really a couple of great division battles going on in the Western Conference. In the Central, 2 points separate Winnipeg and Nashville. In the Pacific, 1 point separates Calgary and San Jose. So a couple great ones in the Western Conference there. Tampa Bay running away with the Atlantic. They've already clinched a playoff spot. And then in the Metropolitan Division, 3 teams, Washington, the Islanders, and Pittsburgh, separated by 4 points. And Carolina and Columbus have the 2 wildcard spots in the Eastern Conference. Wild matchup last night, Maple Leafs and Flyers. Toronto wins 7-6. They score 5 straight goals to defeat the Flyers. So tough
that
night.
Sounds like an early 80s score with maybe the Gretzky-led Edmonton Oilers.
Other scores last night, Columbus 3-0 over Carolina. Vegas 2-1 over Dallas. Anaheim defeats Colorado 5-3. Calgary all over the Rangers 5-1. And it was the Devils 3-2 over the Canucks in a shootout. Wanted to mention, too, Sheldon, a couple local notes here, courtesy of today's Grand Rapids Herald Review. Former Thunderhawk Cole Jones, wrestler, places 7th at the Nationals, earning All-American honors. So congratulations to Cole. Also, the 2019 ICC Sports Hall of Fame class has been announced. It includes Dave Ruda, Dr. Larry Dukes, Lori Larson, and the 1972 ICC hockey team. So congrats to those inductees. Sounds like a possible sports issue booking to me.
I would think so. You get right on that, Super Joe.
Induction ceremony coming up soon, Friday, April 12th. So, we'll get on this, by golly. Also, let's see, some other notes that I wanted to hit. Twin spring training continues. And Byron Buxton's had a real good spring, hitting coach James Rowson on Buxton.
He really looks good this year. He's nice and loose. He's free. He's taking really good swings. And the bottom line is, you look at hitting and it's a process. Everybody doesn't show up at the major league level and have this just get off to really good starts and have a lot of success. It's great when those players do, but most players have some ups and downs and go through some rough spots. And when they continue to get that experience at the major league level, they start to get to the other side and get to the more positive side. I really feel like Byron is at that point in his career.
And Twins welcoming in new slugger Nelson Cruz to the lineup here this year. Here's Rowson on Cruz.
Every time Nelson Cruz squares a ball up, you notice it makes you say, wow, because this guy is some kind of strong, and he can really impact the baseball. His just early on, watching his work ethic and watching his routine, I think a lot of our guys are actually spending a lot of time just watching him go about his business because he's a professional who does things the right way. Great teammate, always encouraging young guys to be around him, and he's very welcoming to that group. So he's a great addition to this group of guys that we have here.
And Rowson on spring training overall this season.
Our spring training has been great so far. Guys got a lot of energy. Obviously, we had a pretty exciting offseason, and we got some players coming back that got a little bit more experience and some new faces added to the group. So it's been pretty good. It's been enjoyable so far. I think it's a good group working together so far.
Twins season opener a week from Thursday at Target Field against Cleveland. Neat picture in the Star Tribune this week of the folks there power washing the seats, getting all the snow off of there, and I'm sure they'll have it ready to roll a week from Thursday.
Wow, that just does not seem like long enough time to get all the snow out. But I know they got the fields heated and they're working hard. So hopefully that'll do. I know yesterday I'm trying to see. I don't know what the final score was, but the Twins racking up 9 runs in the first 3 innings and like 3 home runs against Baltimore. And I see a 12-7. Was that the final score yesterday against Baltimore?
I believe 12-9.
12-9? Oh, yeah. Pitching duel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 9-0 lead turned into a 12-9 win.
Well, a win's a win.
And for those wondering, the Grapefruit League standings, Twins, ironically, 12-9 on the Grapefruit League season. The winner gets a big basket of grapefruits at the end of the spring.
Yeah, it doesn't mean nothing.
And shifting gears here quickly, how about that fiasco with Vikings linebacker Anthony Barr this week?
What do you mean fiasco? He's still with the Vikings. It's not a fiasco, it's a win.
He was almost Jets linebacker Anthony Barr, and that deal fell through, changed his mind. Anthony Barr remains with the Vikings, signing a new deal. So, Anthony, why the Vikings?
That's where I want to be. This is my home. I'm embedded in the community, do a lot of off-the-field work here, and I love my teammates. I love this locker room. The culture that we've developed over the last 5 years it's been awesome. The bonds I've made with my friends, my teammates, and my coaches are unbreakable, and it just felt right. This is where my heart was. This is where it's always been, and this is where it always will be.
And his coach is Mike Zimmer.
With Anthony, I can walk up to him and we speak the same language and say, hey, when they're in this formation or this personnel group, and half the time he'll answer me before I even get it out. That's just the way he is. He's a great football player, outstanding ability, great leader in the locker room.
And that is head coach Mike Zimmer on Anthony Barr. Again, looked like he was going to sign with the Jets, and then things, he changed his mind and went with the Vikings. And Sheldon, it's just a reminder that with trades, things aren't necessarily for sure, barring any setbacks.
Boom. Verbal agreements aren't worth the paper they're not printed on.
We'll take a break here on the Sports Issue, and we'll come back. We'll chat Grand Rapids Swimming. They're in studio next. KOZY.
Qualifications and rules apply. Visit Woodland Bank for details.
If going to the bank was more like going out to eat, where would you go? You could try some Mega Bank.
Welcome to the bank. How can we help you?
Yeah, can I get a free checking account?
That's one high-fee checking account. Would you like a credit card with that?
I said free.
Extra fees.
Ugh. Or you could visit a community financial institution.
Welcome. My name is Doug. I'll be taking care of you today. We have a generous selection of free checking varietals. Our Kasasa accounts are some of my personal favorites.
Kasasa?
Kasasa pays you cash rewards for meeting a few easy qualifications. All fee-free, of course.
Yeah, I'll try Kasasa.
Excellent choice.
Get free Kasasa checking and great service at your local community institution. That's KASASA.
Hi, this is Brian Nicholson, president of Woodland Bank. Ask for Kasasa at any Woodland Bank location or go to woodlandbank.com. Woodland Bank, member FDIC.
If your patio doors stick, squeak, or leak, replace them with Anderson patio doors. Their low E-glass, low maintenance exteriors, rich wood interiors, and wide range of sizes can turn patio door replacement into serious home improvement.
Stop and see Derek, your Anderson window specialist at Anderson Glass, Grand Rapids.
Minnesota News Network, I'm Brent Palm. Police in Milwaukee and the family say the 2-year-old girl at the center of an Amber Alert has been found dead in Minnesota. There was a nationwide search for Noelani Robinson after her father murdered her mother and abducted the girl Monday in Wisconsin. Investigators had said that Noelani might be in the St. Cloud or Austin area. No other details being released at this time. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Readiness Operations Chief says they continue to monitor the spring flooding threat across the state.
We need to support our local leaders and local governments, and that myself and the state of Minnesota, we stand ready to support them in any way we can.
Phil White says if you have specific flood questions, to reach out to your city leaders. National Weather Service is predicting an increased risk of flooding this spring. And law enforcement out in full force this St. Patrick's Day holiday weekend. This is MNN.
You're not wired to have a response to this sound. You're neutral to it, and you can hear it repeatedly without feeling anything. But when we introduce a new stimulus, Save the Food, we've achieved pulling a natural or inborn response from you. Save the Food, because 40% of all food in the US never gets eaten. Save the food. Cook it, store it, share it. Just don't waste it. For tips and recipes, visit SaveTheFood.com. Brought to you by NRDC and the Ad Council.
Hello, it's me, the designer jeans in the back of your closet. What happened to us? I used to summer in the Hamptons, and now I'm stuck behind a pair of sweats. Okay, maybe I never really fit you right, but I got a lot more Sunday fun days left in me. So take me to Goodwill, where I can really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff, create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Classic Radio weather.
Here's your KOZY weatherology forecast. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times this afternoon, with daytime highs approaching 30. Winds out of the west 5 to 10 miles per hour. Cloudy tonight, chance for snow showers, lows dip down to about 16. Chance of snow showers tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 35, overcast skies. Upper 30s Monday, turning warmer on Tuesday with highs in the upper 30s. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Currently, it's 20.
Welcome back to the Sports Issue here on KOZY and KOZYRadio.com. Joe Gigliotti along with Sheldon Willis, and time to talk some Grand Rapids swimming. We have Coach Melissa Rousey and Michael Fitch.
And even though the swim season has been over for a few weeks, we hadn't talked to anyone from the swim team since the state meet. So thanks for coming in, Coach Rousey and Michael. And I'm going to start with you, Michael. You qualified for the state meet in two events, right? In the 200 and 500. Is my memory good so far?
Yep, that's right.
And talk a little bit about the section and then the state experience. It was your first year getting down to the state meet.
Yeah, and at the section meet we did really good. We got second only to Hibbing, and they're losing a lot of guys this year, so we'll get them next year. And the state meet was a lot of fun. We saw some really fast swimmers and had some fun times.
Well, and I know that's always the case when you take from when the northern Minnesota teams go down to state, all of a sudden you run into a lot of swimmers that are swimming year-round and swimming in clubs, and it's just a whole different thing down there, Melissa.
Right. Yeah, it was. We worked really hard, though, throughout the season, and I think that we even surprised ourselves. The boys just really put it all out there for the section meet. Some really good swims, some really good times. It was my first season training guys versus girls, which was just a little bit different. And they tapered really well and had some really good drops. So I was really proud of them. They were excited to be down there, and for many of them, I think it was their first time actually swimming or being a part of it.
So do you taper a little differently for guys than you would for girls, or what are some of the differences training-wise?
One of the things we did a little differently this time, I don't know if it's that much different, but for the distance swimmers, they didn't need to taper quite as long, so I kept their yardage up a little bit longer than the sprinters. But Michael showed us that it worked, so.
Well, I was going to say, you dropped a pile of time in the 500, especially to be section champion in the 500, right?
Yeah, 27 seconds since last year.
And I know you dropped more time in the 500 than you would in a shorter race, but that's a pile of time.
Yeah.
That's a 30-second commercial, Joe.
Yes, that's a lot.
So what were you kept your yardage up a little longer than the sprinters did as you went through the taper? Is that what Coach Rousey was saying?
Yeah, it caused some jealousy, but it worked out.
Well, it would cause some jealousy more for you, right? That you have to swim more yards longer.
No. I want to get out of there faster, and
yeah.
It's hard when everyone's getting up before you.
Yeah, so you were the one. It's like, why can't I cut down to whatever it is?
Yeah,
8 million yards instead of 9 million. How many yards did you swim at maximum?
I know I should be remembering this exactly. At maximum, I know we were about 6,500 to 6,800 for the distance, but the sprinters were more like 6,000. Yeah. We didn't go as high as 7 in the past years. I just don't think it's necessary to swim that many yards when you're doing quality.
And do you have a certain pace that you're supposed to keep when you're swimming the high number of yards? You're swimming 6,800 yards or 65?
Pretty much whatever Melissa tells us, unless she's looking away.
Then you slow it down.
Yeah.
So what's the lap time you're supposed to be keeping on those long swims?
For like a 100, it'd be a 115 to a 105 usually, and then 200, it's in the 3s typically.
And how close do you watch them when they're? Because that's a lot. How long are they in the pool for that? And do you do it in two segments or all in one?
No, it's all in one. We don't do morning practices, especially with the flu and the cold season. I just don't think that they need to get up and tax their bodies anymore. So we do afternoon practices. Distance guys are like at the pool, looking at their workout in the pool and out of the pool, usually first. But I watch them, but Michael is a good leader, and he's pretty honest about his yards, and they really work hard. I mean, they want to be good. So.
And you can be jealous of the sprinters getting out of the pool earlier, but you know that this is part of what has to happen to make it work, right?
Yeah, I get that.
And did you have a goal as you came towards sections of what you wanted to swim, and did you hit that, or did you just smash it all to pieces?
I mean, it was nowhere near what I ended up swimming. I was surprised when I looked at the clock.
Well, when did you think, hey, that section title in the 500 is within reach?
I never really saw it as that. I was thinking I was going to get second going into the section meet, and I came out 5 seconds faster than the second place guy.
But you always told me I would say, are you going for top 3? He's like, oh, I'm going for number 1. I mean, he'd tell me what I wanted to hear, but I don't know if he necessarily believed it, but it came out.
Did you believe it? So on Saturday when the finals, when you're swimming and you came in, second in the prelims?
Mm-hmm.
and you go into the pool for the finals, are you thinking, hey, this is in my grasp at that time? Or was it, 200 yards in, it's like, hey, I've got more than this guy, I can go?
Well, going into finals, he was something like 0.2 seconds faster than me. And then when we were swimming, I kept neck and neck with him until about 300. And then I was like, I got to get going if I'm going to actually beat him. And I started going a little faster.
So is that often about the time when swimmers like to make their move in that 500? Is that when you as I watch it, and I'm a casual observer for swimming, trust me, but it seems like the first 50 to 75 yards is pushed, and then people just kind of settle in for about 200 yards, and then there's, okay, what do you got?
Yeah, well, if you get too relaxed, it's gonna affect you negatively a lot, because that happened to me early in the season, and I would get pretty slow times, because you look at your splits, and it's like, you start out with 27s, and then you end up with 34s.
Yeah, and you got to keep that down around 32.
32, 31, yeah.
Yeah. But then, like you said, about 300, you say, okay, this is the time now. What do you got? Who has the most in the tank at this point, right?
Yeah, pretty much. When you're going to win, that's what I would do, yeah.
And as you watched him pull away, how rewarding was that as a first-year coach, Melissa?
It was really exciting. It was really intense. Coach Austin Rolling was standing next to me because I was a little nervous watching Michael neck and neck, and I just wanted him to be in the top 3. And Austin said, there he goes, he's going, and then it just from there, the last 200.
And you also had Jake Jacobson, who wins the section and had the top place at state for the team, right?
Right. Jake pretty much sat at a 107, 106 throughout the whole season. And
this in the breaststroke.
Yeah, and we decided the 200 IM was his other deal this year. He's been a flyer for years and a breaststroker, but the breaststroke was kind of his favorite. So going into sections and putting the lineup together, I was pretty confident for that event for him. And then the psych sheets came out, and I saw a lot of competition. So it was one of those things where Jake was going to have to put it all out there to do it, and he did. I mean, yeah, 5 seconds, 4 to 5 seconds off just at the section meet.
And that's a lot of time in the 100 breast. And going down to state, then he gets a 10th place. Am I?
He did. He got 10th place. He was he and Alex Nader both went to the finals, and it was exciting. He dropped 2 more seconds, which is pretty exciting at the state meet. And that pool is tough. The middle pool down there is different. The turns are different. Not so much for breaststroke, but yeah, he was pretty confident about it.
And how do you prepare for a different pool like that when you know kind of the ins and outs?
Well, Jake and a lot of the guys that have been on this team have been in the Sea Turtle program, and so they've been to the state meet. They've been in that pool many times, a lot of them. So Jake has been to that pool many times.
Maybe for a swimmer who hadn't been to that pool before, how would you prepare them? Or just tell them, here's how it's laid out, and good luck to you.
Kind of. I mean, we've talked the whole season about if you want to be exceptional, you have to be able to handle adversity. You have to be able to just take new situations and do what you do best.
Chatting with Grand Rapids Swimming here on the Sports Issue. Got to ask, Michael, is that the hair color you normally sport? Or was that a team bonding thing?
It's a team bonding thing. This is probably 20 shades lighter than it normally is.
Okay. And whose idea was it?
Well, it started a while ago when swimmers decided they're not going to shave their heads anymore, so they decided that as a team they're going to start bleaching their hair so that they can look similar for the section and state meet.
Uh-huh.
I'm not exactly sure when that tradition started, though.
I don't know either, but it's been a long time.
Do you like that tradition?
I do. I like looking the same as all my teammates, and you can tell us apart from everyone else at the section meet. I mean, that means a lot.
There you go.
You get any hassle at school about the hair color?
Not anymore.
Not anymore? Not since you made state. Now it's all gone?
Pretty much.
And you're a sophomore?
Yep.
Am I right? Jake is a junior. So talk about some other state qualifiers, and especially we'll talk about the seniors. We'll give them their due here in a bit, but especially the underclassmen that excelled this year.
Ben Bartholomew, I think I told you at the section meet, had been struggling, or maybe I told Kyle Nelson, struggling with some knee issues. And so he hadn't been in the pool for a couple weeks, and I was a little nervous. But Ben is another guy that just, like Michael, when he wants something, he's going to go for it. So he did really well. He normally he would swim the 200, so Michael kind of took his place. But Ben swam really well in the 100 and 400 free relay and the 200 free relay. So he went down for the 100.
Okay. Yeah. And is that the extent of state qualifiers that you had, or were there a couple others?
So we also had the 400 free relay, which consisted of Ben, Cody Bissonette, Andy Fox, and Austin Morrissey. It originally was Jake Jacobson. If you remember, he climbed out of the breaststroke, and I said, we need a 51 from you. And he climbed back into, he dove off the block and swam a 51 to get them to state. So, yeah. But for the actual state meet, we put Cody Bissonette Sr. in his place. So, took a little pressure off of Jake. He was able to focus a little more on his breaststroke and...
Yeah, because those two events go back to back, so it's kind of tough, right?
Yeah.
And have you, in your swimming career, have you swam back-to-back events before? I mean, when you're a 500, you need a little rest time.
Yeah. I remember in the early years, I'd swim the 500 and the 200 relay, and those are back-to-back, right? Mm-hmm. And then these days, I try a little harder in the 5, and I get out, and I feel like I'm going to throw up. It's like, I can't swim anymore in that meet.
And so that's the last event that you swim in any meet is the 500, so you can just leave it all out there. And we've talked a little bit about the strategy and so on, but that's a race of managing some pain and some, talk a little bit about managing to get through a race like that.
It takes some mental strength. When you're about halfway through and you think about it and you're like, I'm halfway through, I just have half this race left. It's really motivating to finish it, especially if you're in front of the guys next to you, because you know you can do it after that, like, far into it. But it's pretty hard in the first half.
Well, and I know you get quite a bit of separation. You know, you end up with some of the slower swimmers getting lapped in the 500 all the time. And I don't know if you were ever one of the slower swimmers as you were starting out, but is that a tough mental strain as well when you're kind of slogging through and seeing people go out ahead of you?
It depends on how experienced you are, I'd say, and what your seed time is. When I was a younger kid, I was in the slower lanes, and I would see the guys next to me, and it wouldn't, like, demotivate me. It'd be like, I need to chase after those guys in the following years and right now, and it helped a lot, actually.
And then when you're in one of the slower lanes, you're more concentrating on, I just need to beat my personal time and swim my race?
Yeah, exactly, and the guys in your section, yeah.
Well, what's your best memory of swimming this year?
I think finishing a 500 at Hibbing, and this guy in the lane next to me, Cooper Emerson, who I became really good friends with this year, he had beat me by 0.18 seconds, and I got out and I hugged him after, and because I was so proud of him for doing that.
So hugging a competitor, someone who you're a rival, actually, because Hibbing's your biggest rival out there as well, right? Mm-hmm. Is there a lot of that camaraderie across the board in swimming between teams?
I think so, especially now with social media. A lot of these guys are friends on social media. They play video games together, all that. But when we come together at meets, we're competing, but I think that they all want the best for one another. Down at the state meet, 6A stands together and cheers on one another. We're cheering for Hibbing, we're cheering for Virginia, Mesabi, whoever, and they're cheering for us.
it's always a challenge to keep numbers up in a high school sport. There's a lot of different sports that people can do. Are you involved in recruiting at the school, or do you leave that to the younger swimmers, or a feeder program? How do you make sure the numbers stay there for Grand Rapids swimming?
You know, I coached the feeder program for 7 years, so I was with the Sea Turtles, so that is huge. That is a really important part of the Grand Rapids varsity and junior varsity team, and I hope to continue working with the Y in that program, just to continue coaching, similar coaching, the techniques, keeping everything similar.
So how important is it to, and you say, you know, you've coached that program, how important is it to have a very competent coach there that's developing this talent when they're young?
It's important. And it's important for them to stay committed, and really you have to have a lot of drive, passion, because it takes a lot of patience and it takes a lot of time.
And there we go. And Michael, are you involved in other activities besides swimming?
I've done tennis and soccer in the past, but this year I'm pretty tired after swimming.
All right.
So,
favorite sport between swimming, tennis, and soccer?
Oh, swimming for sure.
Swimming for sure. Okay. Any interest in like pep band?
I'm in marching band too.
You are? Okay.
Yeah. That's going to start up pretty soon.
Awesome. Your brother was in it too, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Percussion, right?
Yep.
Okay. As a percussion alum, way to go. And what instrument do you play?
I play the tenor drums.
Tenor drums. All right. Way to go.
Now Joe feels like you're a long lost friend because he's the drum guy.
I really do. And Coach Rousey, your favorite memory of the season?
My favorite memory of the season was the section meet. Actually, I was nervous coming into coaching these guys. I wasn't sure that as a female coach how I would be accepted, but at that section meet, I just remember Andy Fox got out of the pool and he was so excited about making it to state. He turned around, he gave me a huge hug, the whole team gave me a huge hug, and it was really emotional.
Great.
Yeah.
First year, everything you expected it may be?
More. It
More?
was more than I expected.
Any surprises along the way?
No.
No? All right. When do you start planning for year two?
Now.
Now. I like it.
Well, and you're also the girls' coach,
Yes.
right? So that comes up before you know it.
Right. So we're planning summer swim team, and that'll start June 24th, and there'll be 4 weeks of summer swim team. And
Is that boys and girls
Yes.
on the summer team? Mm-hmm. So what are your goals? You swim on the summer team, and what are the goals there?
I haven't swum it before.
No?
Yeah, but I think I'm going to do it this year.
You're going to do it this year, okay. Coach said you better.
no.
No, it wasn't that. But that off-season program is a huge part of being more competitive, right?
Right. I mean, they've got to be doing something in the off season, lifting weights, swimming, doing other cardio. Yeah, it's really important.
Well, I know as I was watching you swim the 500 at sections, I heard some coaches just kind of in my peripheral hearing saying, "That's a good stroke, a good efficient stroke." Is that something you worked on a lot this year?
Oh yeah, Melissa yelled at me a lot about it, and Coach Austin.
So that worked. You and when you look at it, can you see it with your naked eye, or is there some video work that you do to try to show this is what you need to change and this is how you need to get a more efficient stroke?
We've done some video. I've videoed Michael and had him watch before. We have them watch things. It's really busy at practice. I mean, there's 50 guys, and there's not a ton of time to
Right.
get everything we need to get done. Hopefully, next season we'll have a different strategy with trying to implement some of that video and whatnot in the beginning of the season.
So what was the best thing that helped you change your stroke or become more efficient with it?
Well, I think it'd be Austin, because every time after I got out after the 500, he would come up to me with a video of my stroke and show me what I could improve on, and and what I did like bad. At the beginning of the season, my kick was not very good. And then before the section meet, Austin Morrissey, who made it to state in the 200 IM in the last relay, he worked with me on my turns a lot because he's known for his good turns. I think that made a big difference too.
And that helped a lot. And what is the biggest difference between an efficient or an inefficient stroke? What are you looking for?
Well, for the 500 at least, stretching out your stroke and not stroking too fast, because then you're going to get tired. And then flip turns are huge since you do 20 of them in that one race. Yeah. Streamline, yes.
And then you said your kick wasn't very good. Is there a technique to kicking, or just making sure you're doing it enough and not dragging your feet through the water?
Definitely making sure you're not dragging your feet through the water. No one can kick for 500 yards. It's a lot.
Well, and I see coaches doing that. If you're watching on the video, the little the hand motion, kick a little more, kick a little more. 500 swimmers never kick enough, do they?
No, they try. Sometimes Michael will avoid looking at our side of the pool just so he doesn't see our hand movements. I know he does.
You breathe looking the other way, right? not looking. Yeah. And is there, I guess as you're kicking, it's just a feel. You don't have a certain RPM or a certain flutter rate that you're looking for?
No, not really.
Not
just
really.
Trying to keep kicking.
Trying to make sure the feet are helping and not just dragging.
Yeah.
See, I always learn something when I get swimmers here. See, a few years ago, I learned about fast and slow pools and fast and slow water. It's like, what? Water is just water. No, it's not. So thanks for coming in, and good luck summer swimming, and we're looking forward to fun times next year, too.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
That's Michael Fitch, Coach Melissa Rousey with Grand Rapids Swimming here on the Sports Issue, and we'll take one more time out and be back to wrap it up on KUZY.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive number 2 employee. Leave a message at the... Hi, Jamie. It's you, Jamie. Don't hang up. You need to hear this. You gotta quit wearing that aviator jacket. Nobody's buying it. I'm sorry you have to hear it from me, but at Progressive, we're all about giving it to people straight. That's why we show our rates alongside our competitors' rates. And when you're helping people find great rates, you don't need some jacket to look cool. Just keep rocking that scarf.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Comparisons not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
This is a cow whose milk became everyone's favorite cheese at the craft fair. But cheese only lasts so long. The impression a small business makes needs to last much longer. That's why Vistaprint is offering 500 truly personalized business cards starting at $9.99. Choose from hundreds of fresh designs tailored to your type of company, or upload your own. The choice is yours. The time is now. Get 500 business cards starting at $9.99 with promo code 6262. That's promo code 6262 at Vistaprint.com. Vistaprint, own the now.
And welcome back to the Sports Issue here on KOZY as we wrap things up. Thanks again to Melissa Rousey and Michael Fitch for dropping by here this morning to talk Grand Rapids swimming. And thanks again to Garrett Beckridge for stopping in earlier today as we chatted about Nordic skiing. Your schedule here today, we have Gopher men's basketball Big Ten tournament semifinals as they take on Michigan, pregame at 2, opening tip 2:30. Tonight, Golden Gopher hockey in their Big Ten tournament as they take on Notre Dame, pregame at 5:30, opening tip at 6. And then tomorrow, the Wild hosting the Islanders, 4:45 pregame, 5 o'clock face-off. So looking forward to all of those matchups. Anything else, sir?
Well, I see some matchups are out for the state boys basketball tournament. In single A, Northwoods gets the 3 seed. They open up 5 o'clock on the 21st against Westbrook Walnut Grove.
Good luck to the Grizzlies.
The little house on the prairie, right? Walnut Grove, isn't that?
Something like that, yeah. Sure. I don't know. I just went along with it.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything else here today?
No, it's been a lot of fun. Been fun catching up with some winter sports that wrapped up a few weeks ago with Garrett and Michael Fitch, Melissa Rousey here.
All righty. So, Sheldon, have a good rest of the weekend, and we will chat next week.
Yes, we will.
And thanks everybody for joining us here on the Sports Issue on KOZY. Again, if you're celebrating St. Patrick's Day this weekend, have fun, be safe, and we officially welcome in spring on Wednesday. Looking forward to that for sure. This has been the Sports Issue, and big thank you to our sponsors. Woodland Bank, Donlinger Ford, Anderson Glass, and Super One Foods. For Sheldon Willis, I'm Jojo Leotti. You've been listening to the Sports Issue on 1320 KOZY. We'll do it all again next Saturday morning from 8 to 10. Enjoy your weekend.